Hey guys, this is Kinnefret.
You're listening to Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown.
On Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Oakland, California, from Melodic Death Thrash Metalers. We have female-fronted metal from Kinnefret. Joining us, we have vocalist Chelsea Murphy, who has recently gotten married. Congratulations to you. We have Altok Ozan on vocals and lead guitar, and we have Ariane Paku on drums. Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, guys. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. And how are you doing out there tonight?
We're good, yes.
I'm doing awesome. Thank you.
We're doing good.
Very metal.
Excellent. I have been playing your music, and I really, really enjoy it. I want to learn as much as we can about your band. You have an extremely talented metal band, so let's learn all that we can about you. When did your band officially form?
Okay, so it goes back to 2011, June. I met this drummer called Ben Gibbs, and we started the project right away. We used to know each other on the internet. We talked about music all the time, and we decided we want to jam together and write some music. So we did it. We jammed for a year and a half actually. Then we found a bass player. His name was Jim Pigram. He's a very good bass player. He played in a couple of really well-known bands in Bay Area, such as Anchorhead and Skinner.
Familiar with Skinner, nice.
Yeah, we started jamming and we started playing shows. After a little while, we realized that we're going different ways, and I got to meet Ariane, the drummer that we have now. So Ben Gibbs left the band, and Ariane joined right away. I knew Ariane through internet again. Actually, funny as it sounds, I knew him from Facebook. We talked a few times. I thought he lives in Sweden, and I loved his drumming. I don't know why I thought he lives in Sweden. Actually, I know because I saw on Facebook it says that he lives in Sweden. So I was like, okay, it's an online friend. I love his work. He's from the same place that I am. He's originally from Iran. So I was more attracted talking to him. We chatted a few times, then all of a sudden I saw that, I posted something about our show at the Metro, Oakland Metro, and I was like, okay, we're playing a show tonight, just come by, and I saw, he says that I'm coming too. I'm like, what? I thought you were in Sweden. And he was like, no, I'm in Oakland now. My parents live in Walnut Creek, close to Oakland, so we're playing that show with my band. I'm like, oh, wow, that's amazing. So we got to know each other, and after Ben Gibbs left the band, I was like, dude, this is time for us to jam. I know that you're amazing. I already saw him playing. It was really good. He was 17-year-old when I saw him playing, and he just killed it. I was like, dude, I love you playing. After a year, we started jamming and, getting ready to play music. I was singing and playing guitar, so I had another guitar player. He's playing in, right now he plays in the band called From Hell.
From Hell.
Yeah, they just came back from touring all over Europe, and he played in Hatred, the band from Exodus's original singer. So he got busy, he left the band. But anyway, one day we were jamming, and I noticed that someone in the next room is singing really nicely. I was like, holy shit, that sounds really good. And I went to the next door, check him out, see who it is, and I saw Chelsea. I was like, no way. So I was absolutely shocked. And at the same time, I was in a project called Trinity Fallen with Greg Christian from Testament. We were looking for a singer. I told Greg Christian, I was like, I saw this badass chick. She's singing really good. And we tried her out for Trinity Fallen. Greg Christian is an old school guy. He did not the new sound of metal. And he was like, this is not my style. She's amazing, but it's not what I want to do with my music. I thought to myself, this girl is so amazing. She sings way better than I do. Why don't I just ask her if she wants to come join Kinnefret? Talked to Ari at the same time too. He was really excited for it. And Chelsea learned a song or two. She came by and we jammed. We thought we were getting somewhere with this. So Chelsea joined the band and I stepped back from singing. I'm actually not a really vocal of Kinnefret. I do a little bit of back vocals because, my voice is kind of lost behind Chelsea's voice. So I just I stepped back pretty much.
Yeah, I can understand that. Chelsea has some set of lungs on this. Amazing.
Yeah, her voice is really loud. She's like 2 or 3 times louder than I am. And a lot of other guys sing in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah.
And who selected Kinnefret as the band's name? And is there any meaning behind the name, actually? Because
Kinnefret. It's very interesting. I was thinking about the band name the first year in 2011. I had a good friend. He jammed with us too. His name is Chris Contos. Chris Contos is the former drummer of Machine Head, and he played in Slayer. He played in Testament.
He played in many classic
Yeah,
bands.
and I told him, hey, I like the name Hate. I like the name Garage. And he was like, okay, just call it Hate Garage. I was like, okay, I want to call it Hate Garage. I like it. And he was like, why don't you call it in your language, Hate Garage? What would that be? I was like,
now I understand.
well, pretty much that's how we came up with the band name, and it stayed.
And I noticed that the band, when it formed, it started as a four-piece. You actually had a bass player, but what happened? Are you still searching for a new bass player? Are you seeking one now, or have you found one, or what's the deal with that? What happened?
Well, we had a bass player named Arsis, and he was able to play with us throughout our first tour, and eventually, due to what we wanted to do in our music and how we wanted to evolve, we wanted to part ways and find another bass player. And we're still looking for a bass player right now. And right now, it's just me and Artok and Chelsea. So it's just us three. Basically, as of now, we're just trying to get some ideas for the new material for our next album. And as well, we're trying to find a new bass player.
I wish you the best of success with both. And that's good news that you're working on new music. The reason why we're really here is to talk about the coming of age. As you know, I have checked your music out, and I've been playing a lot of it. I really enjoy this. And this came out in May of 2016. In my opinion, it's a kick-ass extreme metal offering. But how would you describe your sound?
Well, my way of looking at it is it's extreme. It definitely has some of that thrash influence, a lot of the blastings, especially on my part because I'm the drummer. So for me, I always try to put a lot of accents in my drum rolls and also blasts. And for me personally, I feel like this was my very first album. So for me, it was kind of like everything that I thought of that I would want to have in my first album, I said to myself, yeah, this is what I think works for it. For me, it's just very extreme with some thrash elements, with some brutal vocals.
I think all the band members in this band, we love a certain kind of music, and we all brought that to this album. Chelsea loves a different kind of music. I love different. We all are metal, the genre of metal. I love different kind of genre metal. For me, my favorite band is Death.
That many people say that, yes.
Another favorite band is Tool. So they're so different, but I do have influences from them writing music. The other thing is I studied Baroque harmony, so I used a lot of harmonies in those songs. I thought it's gonna sound cool. At the same time, I love thrash, the thrash beats and thrash rhythm. So yes, I brought them up on music writing as well. And Chelsea brought her own.
Okay, well, my favorite bands are kind of different from theirs, for sure. One of my biggest lyrical influences, believe it or not, is The Used, which is kind of weird to say. What inspired me to begin vocals in the first place was actually As I Lay Dying. That's before Tim Lambesis drank the juice and the screws came loose. But, they were a big influence to me because he was a really good mid-range vocalist.
He kind of is.
Yeah. He was a really good mid-range vocalist, and that was where I started. My ground was mid-range, and since then I have worked to develop a wider range. So something that I'm working to increase at all times, and I'll never really top out on that. I will just keep striving for more and more.
Excellent. It's quite interesting how each of you have your own metal or musical background, but when you all put it together, you come up with the coming of age, and it's a really great sound. And I, for one, I'm a big lover of thrash, and I do love melodic death. And when you could put the two together and have a kind of sound like you have, it's like a pleasure for my ears and many others out there. I must tell you that.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate that. That's why we're here talking about your music. And was this release, The Coming of Age, was it self-released, or how did you get this music out there?
Honestly, it was just us. Like we did everything our way. Like we were the ones that thought of the design. We thought of the ways of putting the CD presentation, getting the shirts. Like we put our money and our effort to get it out. So yeah, we did it ourselves.
Very cool. Sometimes that's the way to go, especially in this day and age, because labels out there, they're not doing what they did 30 years ago for the bands. But have you
Of
been out
course.
there seeking any interest in labels or searching for any labels that would suit your needs? Or do you feel that you're better off just doing everything on your own?
Well, of course, we always want to keep an eye out on labels that do fit in our interest for our music, especially for our next album. We really want to, like, once we get the material and getting ready for recording, we really want to get someone to work it out with us. But for now, as of now, we're just working on the new material and we're just making sure that the material first sounds very good and ready for recording. And then we're going to be more focused towards looking for a record label.
Adding to that, we had a few labels, local labels, a little bit bigger labels contacting us. But the problem was that what they offer is so funny. Like one of them was like, I give you guys $150 of recording fee and I'll help you get shows and stuff. I'm like,
I was like, what? I was like, that's it. I'm down.
Yeah, yeah.
shocking as it sounds. That album is a very good quality album. We spent $4,000 to record the whole thing.
Yeah.
I
And
believe it.
that
Sounds good. Yeah. Wow.
that includes I recorded the guitars and vocals in our studio. So I recorded it myself. But drums and mix and mastering, reamping the guitars and all that was done by Nick. It's a guy who does a really good job recording. His new studios. I can't say his last name actually.
Yeah,
Botello.
Botello. His name is Nick Botello, and he's in NB Recordings. And basically, our guitarist Artok, he would do to take care of the vocals and the guitar. But whenever I were to do my drums in a recording studio, it would just be me and Nick just working on how drums should sound like, because he's also a drummer. So he and I connected immediately, and he knew what for me what the drums should sound like. But other than that, we're just like, although we really had a good time with him, especially with this album, we're now trying to just look around and broaden our horizons as to who else we would like to work with us for our next album.
That's excellent. Now, how does your music all come together? Who writes the lyrics? Who writes the actual melodies to your music?
I write the lyrics to all the songs.
Cool.
And yeah, and then I also put in the motives and we try to compose together so everything sounds really nice. Artak does a lot of the work here at Kinnefret as far as composing goes.
So,
He's guitar work, bass.
yeah, pretty much writing the musical part is mostly me and Ariane. Everybody has a job in this member pretty much. Me and Ariane work on material. We give it to Chelsea. Chelsea, here it is. What do you think? Put some stuff in it. Not put some stuff in it, but write your lyrics and let's jam together to see how it sounds. That's the time we start working on it and cutting some parts out and see how make it the way it sounds better to us.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I come up with the riff. I record it at home. I put them all together. Then I go to Ariane. I'm like, Ariane, this is the form that I wrote. What do you think? He's like, okay, we should do this. We should cut this part, add a part. That's how we actually come up with composing the whole song.
Like basically, our talk is more of the whole music theory, and I'm more of the formation. Like he gives me like what he has thought of, and I say, oh, it would be cool if we add this, or we put this in this, or we add more of this, because he really has a good process of making melodies and harmonies, and he's very good at composing. For me, I'm not that much knowledgeable towards music theory, but I know a lot about formation and what, in my opinion, sounds good afterwards or beforehand. And I sometimes just practice drums, and I would have some ideas and I would record it. And if I think it's song worthy, I'll send it to Artok, and if he's cool with it, he'll add some stuff to it. So we all work together and we all have a job as to writing the music down. But at the very beginning, when it comes to the mind of how the music wants to be taking place, it usually starts with our talk.
All right, interesting. And you have a good process of how you get your music done. That is really good. And as you said, you recorded this in your own studio, The Coming of Age, and you self-produced it as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. You did a great job, guys. I would never think
Thank
that. I would think you would have it mastered and produced by someone well known out there.
We have it mastered by Nick.
Yeah, Nick of when it came to getting the whole album like nicely made and mastered, it was us because of course we were there when that happened, and Nick. It was just us four really that were working on this album. Nick, if it wasn't for Nick, we wouldn't have that good of an album in our opinion. Like he really helped us out, and I really appreciate his work.
Yeah, but producing it, it's us again.
Yeah.
All right. Kudos to Nick and everything you've done on this. Very nice.
I used to say his last name Buttlehole. I didn't know his last name. How do you say it?
Botello.
Botello. I can say
Like
it.
Nutella.
Oh,
on,
wow. Interesting name. Butthole surfers. No.
Oh, he's gonna.
Batello. Okay, that's cool. And let's learn about your CD art. Who designed your CD cover for The Coming of Age, and as well, who designed your band's logo?
We actually worked with Brian Lewis of Stone Design for our CD album art. He's in a band called Etched in Stone, and he also does a lot of artwork for bands around the Bay Area. He's excellent. He really heard us out on our desires and wants, and he just really made what we were thinking come to life. We would recommend him and appreciate everything that he's done.
Yeah, but the idea, we gave him the ideas, of the Persepolis is an old ancient Iranian city. We were like, we want to use this at the album cover and all the album design. So you haven't seen actually the album, but the album has a beautiful design. We don't sell it online, that's all the hard copy, but you see it, it's beautiful. It's really nicely done. He did a really good job.
Excellent.
And the logo of the band was designed by Kamran Ghiyanuri. It's a guy from Iran. It's a good friend of mine. He designed it because they were really good, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I'll just take it." He actually designed it without telling me. He sent it to him. I'm like, "Oh, that's really nice. I really like it. Let's just go with this."
That's cool.
So yeah, I wish I could draw things, I'm really not good at drawing, so I just left.
Yeah,
it
man,
to
you
someone
suck
else.
at drawing.
Yeah. Stick figures are our specialty.
Yeah, bro, we are so good at that. I'm really good at drawing hair.
Oh,
I'm really
what?
good at drawing stick figure
Drawing hair? Interesting.
Yeah, stick figure style. Just like
Oh,
five.
I got
like,
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry guys. I just got the truth.
That's cute, man. I tell you, one thing about these interviews that's very important, especially for young bands like yourself that are doing this pretty much all yourself, is how to inform the fans and how they could support the band by getting merch, by getting the CD. So I want to give a few links out there, and I want to know what Kinnefret has available for the fans out there that they could support the fans, such as you mentioned before, T-shirts. I have a couple of links here, and I have kinnefretmetal.bandcamp.com, and I have your Facebook, kinnefret.band.com. Where would you say would be the best place for fans to get either a digital copy or the physical copy of the CD?
Okay, so
For the digital copy, of course, Bandcamp.
We're also on iTunes.
iTunes, okay.
Yes, definitely check it out. We are there. And for our physical copy, it's because we're not selling the physical copy via on the Bandcamp because since we have worked on this ourselves and we're really focusing on getting the next album done, we're pretty much putting all of our efforts on the next one. So the first album, The Coming of Age, it basically means like growing up. That's the concept. And since it was our first album, we're introducing everybody who Kinnefret is. But then our next album, it's going to be, it's the more grown-up version. It's more...
came of age.
Yeah.
Big
Came of age.
Came of age. Very cool. Well, being that
But-
we're talking a little bit about this album you're working on, I would love to have you all come back here on the Metal Meltdown to talk about this new music when the time comes, and we could spend time talking about that when that does come into fruition. If you would be into that, my door will be always open to you.
Oh, that's
Thank
much
you.
appreciated,
Yeah, thank you
man.
so much.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
Getting back to merch, what else do you have available for the fans? That I know you said shirts and stuff like that. Is there anything else we could tell the fans on about what you have available for them that they could be out there supporting you?
Yeah, well, online, pretty much nothing. But if you come to our shows, we have stickers, we have buttons, we have shirts
Patches.
and patches. Yeah, that's all we have.
Don't forget the ladies' tanks.
Yes.
Yeah, the ladies' tanks.
Yes. Totally forgot that. My bad.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up
Don't
because
put that on.
we have people in our chat room saying, "Where are the baby? I think they call them baby doll shirts or whatever, but the girl shirt. They're like, why aren't there enough girl shirts out there? There's no girly shirts. So here we have girly shirts for you.
Yes, of course. I have to make sure that, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah, of course. Chelsea is the one who supervises and makes sure all that is taken care of.
I
you
know that pain of loving a band and there's nothing that fits me and I look like a boy,
Well,
a big man. So
I hear you. Being that you're fronting the band, you got to have this available for your fans because you have to have it as well, of course.
Of course.
The thing is, we're talking about your live shows and how they can get merch. Being that you're without a bass player, is the band performing currently out there? And if
So yeah, we have a special way to play live. Actually, we sound our fans think that our friends and fans think we sound way better live than our recording. One thing I have to add here is that we do have backing tracks live. So bass backing track when we don't have a bass player, and second guitar backing track. So we will sound fuller. And also, we follow a certain very special way of playing. We have a wireless system. So this wireless system gives us click. Like we all hear metronome and click on the stage because we have an ear plug and through our wireless system. So we all hear whatever sound come out of that MP3 player or the device that we have to play the backing track. So all I'm trying to say is we're pretty tight on the stage.
Excellent. But I'm very curious. Have you ever had a Mariah Carey incident?
oh, we're
You ever have any failures like that with the tech shit?
Yeah, technical
yeah.
difficulties comes up all the time.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you don't have thousands of dollars of nice gear. You know, we have the cheapest ones out there available, but technical difficulties come up. Whenever something happens, we just look at Arian.
we just look at our
Yeah.
we just follow Arian. That's all we do.
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, because I'm not honestly a fan of metronome. I like, freely playing the music live. But whenever we get on the metronome and because I'm the one who's pretty much the backbone, I'm trying to keep the metronome place. If I mess up, for example, then, the whole thing just goes to shit.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I would mess up and I would have to hear what, our talk is playing, or I would have to hear the lyrics that Chelsea's singing. And it's also the other way around. When they mess up or so, they go back to us. We always make sure that we're on track of where the song is. Because we should be able to play all these songs perfectly. So it's like, if we mess up, all it is that we just forgot where we're at right now. And then we can always look back to each other and be like, okay, we're at this area. We can continue playing.
Another thing that helps is the stage monitors. So, I always have Chelsea and Orion coming out of, sorry, their sound coming out of the monitoring. And
We're just crawling out
same
of the
same as Chelsea and Orion. They always have, Arian has me and Chelsea's sound coming out of his monitor too. So, if we lose the click, we stop it. We take out the clicks. We take out the earplug, and we just,
just play.
Act like nothing happened, and nobody would even notice it.
Yeah.
So,
It's an important skill to be able to improvise as a band, and that's something that we've grown with. And
stopping the backing track is very easy too. So as we're taking it out, I'll stop the backing track, so nobody will notice. Well, it's a little bit of sound. It's a little bit of a losing sound, like the tech sound that we have, but still it's gonna sound tight. We're not gonna be all over the place. But yeah, that has happened once or twice between all these shows that we have played. But when we practice at the studio, that helps us out a lot. How to prevent stuff like this happening.
Practice makes perfect.
yeah.
Let's hope so, right? Now, will you be looking for, besides a bass player, will you be looking for a second guitarist so that you wouldn't have to go through any technical difficulties with this situation? Is that something that you're looking to do or not?
yes, we would love to have a guitar player. The problem is that all the good guitar players already have a band they're like really committed to,
Yeah.
or they don't have time, or they have family, they just made a family, they have a kid they
Or
have to take care of, they're not available.
or they're just really good musicians, but they don't know how they don't have much capability of transportation or having that much gear with them. It's more like I know people who are really good guitar players, but they'll be like, "Oh, do you guys have an amp there? Because I have a little amp," or and we're not capable of really playing shows with them because we're not able to practice much because we have very very random times that we meet up at the studio. So it's very hard for us to find people that can go with our schedule and are as committed as we are to the band.
And we're kind of limited here because a lot of guitar players can't play the material that we have. We don't play really complicated stuff, as you can hear, but still there's some riffs that they have hard time playing, and we won't sound tight enough if we play together. That's another problem that we have. And yeah, pretty much, if you find a good guitar player, we definitely would take it. Yes.
I hear you. Well, at least you could do what you're doing the way you do it, and you're getting results out of that. So that's a good thing. But I do wish you success in getting that guitar player and bass player that you do need out there. But like you say, in the metal world, nothing actually goes according to your plan. There's always something to fuck everything up, whether it be they're not close to you, they're not in your area, or they don't have the equipment to come through and do what you need to do. So I hope all of that comes into fruition for you. Your band deserves it. But that being said, you do have your way to do this on stage. So as long as you can get this done, it needs to be heard out there. You need to be out there to perform so that you can sell your merch.
Yes, that's true. And get our music out there. That's the most important. We don't really care about merch shirts, merch sale and all that. It's good to have that support back there. But all we care about is to have our artwork out there and have an audience. We want to be heard.
Right.
Right. My English is so bad, so English is my third, just so you know this.
Who doesn't want to be a whore? No, just joking.
Yeah.
Artaw, he wants to be. He's the top contender.
It's all good. But you were saying about being heard. You want to be heard out there, and that's very important.
Yes. Honestly, it's that. I mean, that's how we're able to, play shows around other areas. Like if we don't have any fan base in, for example, Europe, then, I mean, of course, we cannot go to Europe that easily. It's more like you have to pay to get into this tour, and then you have to pay for the transportation. Like, basically, we're just trying to get heard, and we're right now trying to take over, if you say, our community so that the community that we're around knows us very well. And thankfully, this album that we got out last year, it really helped us out because we had our first tour, and it was just in California, but thankfully there were a lot of people who supported us, and I really cannot thank them anymore. They really helped us out, and they made the tour awesome. And honestly, right now we're working on new material, so we're not playing as many shows as we like to, of course, but definitely the reasons for it, they're going to be worth it at the end once we get this album out.
I hear that. But at the shows that you have done previously, have you noticed the fan support, the crowds getting bigger for you, more people getting out there to hear your music?
Funny enough, I mean, this is my opinion, how I see it, because when I'm playing drums, I see the crowd and I see where they're moving. And usually, like when we go to Santa Cruz or Oakland or a couple other venues, sometimes we would have the most people in the crowd because they really dig it. And plus, we have a female singer who screams like way better than most guys. So we're just like, we already got people, stopping and looking at us. We've had, I remember we went to like this all ages show and we saw these kids in the mosh pit, and they're, they're trying to cause this pit.
Nice.
And it was really funny. Yeah. So we try to make sure that
another thing I really noticed and I really liked it is that, first of all, people are shocked. It's pretty much because of Chelsea. I do the sound check, and Chelsea does the sound check. They look at me, they're like, "Where's the sound coming from?" And look at Chelsea. Oh, wow, she's.
And they're like,
singing.
"Holy shit, this is her."
They think it's me. I'm like, I point at Chelsea. And the other thing is that whenever we play live, we do have the most audience. Usually, not always. Most of the audience, we have the most crowd. And the other thing that I really like is that people don't leave. They
Oh
stay,
yeah, they
stay
stay
the
they
whole
stay the whole way, and then some people
Excellent.
literally come to us and they thank us for being there because they're very new to the community or they've seen a lot of local bands but they never saw us live and they're like, wow, you guys are great, you should do more stuff, and we're like, yeah, we want to do more. Yeah, so it feels really good when people come to us and they tell
Yeah,
us
actually,
that they
that's
like
really
what we are doing and they want to hear more of us. So
Makes all the hard work worth it.
of
Yeah.
course.
Plus, it
That's
sounds
one
like you're
day of
having a lot of fun out
So
there doing it.
Oh, God, dude, no.
Oh, that's what you think.
It's a bad day.
Yeah,
But it sounds like you're having a lot of fun doing this out there.
yeah, definitely.
Love.
I
love
mean,
it.
come on, let's put it like that. We have like maybe $13,000 of equipment going places just to play these shows for this 100 or 200 people. Out of it, we get the most fun. Yeah, that's the thing. This is our
Yeah.
vacation or this is our fun. That's the only reason we do it. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't.
I hear that. Now, let's talk about some videos. I visited YouTube and typed in Kinnefret channel, and it took me to your page there, and I noticed you had a couple of official videos. I think they're official for Victimize and Losing Grips to Gain Grips. I Am the Beast. Could you tell us more about these videos? Who produced them? Who edited them? And will you be looking to do videos for the upcoming release when you get that all done?
Yeah, so actually there was actually a third video that you hadn't mentioned. It's our first video we did together. It's called Salvation. That was filmed, edited, and directed by Wayne Marcella. It was a lot of fun to film it and everything. I mean, I had just joined the band. I had been in for
Like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I wrote the song and we were doing the video. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
And I was like, well, because the thing is that our talk was telling me, like, Chelsea is a good singer. What do you think? And I said, yeah, we can go with it. And then a week later, he's like, oh, yeah, in our music video, Chelsea's also going to be singing it. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, oh, okay. Like, this is like, I never heard about
I met
this.
him at the video shoot.
Yeah, like literally, like when we were doing our first music video for Salvation, Chelsea was there, and I was like, okay. So
Wow.
like let's see how things go. And shortly enough, it went really well.
3 years later, I think it went well.
3 years later, I think 3 years later, I'm like, I think I was okay with doing this.
Now, Salvation, when was that video released? Was that like a couple years ago? I think I did notice that video, but I noticed these two as being more current. That's probably why I only mentioned those two.
4 years ago.
No way, not
It
four.
was,
Four
it
is a
was
little.
3 years ago. It was like April of 14.
Either 14.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it was. Yeah, it's one of our old ones. That was first one, of course.
And you can definitely notice the growth between the videos. Like
Yeah.
that one to our last one is just like night and day difference. And that's
Yeah.
what we want. We want something that is
Always
unique
better.
and way better than last time. So that's what we achieved, and we're going to continue to try to strive for that each time.
So your videos are coming of age as well. This is good.
Yes.
And could you tell us more about Victimize and Losing Grips? Who produced and edited these videos?
So Losing Grips is a good friend of mine who did it for us. He actually did it for almost free. His name is Mike Sloat. He's the guy who did music videos for Machine Head. He did music videos for Testament, a lot of good bands out there, and he's a good friend of mine. We became good friends like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, yeah. And
Cool.
I started studying filmmaking and directing, and he is actually my teacher. So as you can see, the music video called
Victimize.
Losing Grips. Losing Grips to Gain Grips is his work. It's actually my first work. As you can see, the zombie story and all that. I came up with the script. I came to my bandmates, and they loved it. They were like, okay, we should do it. And they added their parts into it. We finished the script. And after that, we planned the date, and we got all the equipment that we needed. And we started shooting it. Yeah, as you can see, I did a lot of work on that music. It's 150 hours of work of, visual effects and all that, editing. It was a lot of work, and in the end, it came out really good. And
150 hours work, you said, on that video?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Just a lot of, like gunshots and, explosions, and, blood and, all that. It was a lot of work. And the other thing is that we're going to do more music videos, and we had the idea to follow the story of the Victimized music videos. So the next music video is gonna follow the story of what happened next.
Yeah. In the music video now, because beforehand we had people helping us out with the whole directing and how to make this music video look good. But now when we were doing Victimize, our talk was kind of like, hey, I want to, get a feeling of editing and getting an idea of where to film our music video. And he's really getting good at that. And of course, we're going to continue on the story with the Victimize, and our talk really is the one who's thinking about that. So when it comes to the music video and the ideas, principally, he's the one who thinks about it, thinks about the location, thinks about who's going to help him out. And Mike Slott, he's helped us many times, and we very much appreciate it. And he's also helped us a lot with our talk and how we wanted our music video to be shown. So we thank him a lot for that as well.
I want to be clear, it's Mike Sloat, not Mike Slut.
Well, not Slut. I said it differently. All right. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we're all about those sluts and whores.
Yeah,
all those
sluts in this.
All that good stuff.
It's all metal. It's all good, right?
It's all metal. Yeah, that's it. It's all metal. Nobody cares. It's beautiful. There's no rules in metal. You can say whatever.
Let's
you
have
want.
all the sluts and whores.
All the sluts and whores. That's my new band.
Yeah, sluts and whores.
And then my album name is Whores and Sluts. So it works out.
It does work out. That is excellent. That's excellent. Thank you for that information. And would you like to talk more about your gear? We were talking about a little bit of your drums and stuff like that. Would you like to talk about the guitarings and your amps or whatever equipment you use and brands or whatever? Would you like to talk about this? And I don't know if you have any endorsements, but if you do, if you'd like to mention that, you could do that as well if you're into doing that.
Let's go start with guitars. That's my most exciting part.
Oh, shut up. The most exciting part is my 6-string instrument. Let me tell you all about this.
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So for endorsement, I'm going to start with my endorsements first. I have an Alien guitar endorsement. It comes from Iran, as shocking as it sounds. The second endorsement is from Stallings Guitars. They're located in Los Angeles. They're really good. It's a pretty much $5,000 piece of artwork that I use. On the stage where I practice with it at home, it sounds amazing, great sustain. It's just one of the best guitars I've ever had. I prefer to use a Hellraiser Schecter for recording, and on the stage I usually use my BC Rich. It's a BC Rich. It's Pat O'Brien's signature.
Nice.
I love it. And for amp, I don't have anything exciting on the amp part. I do have a GSX. It's Joe Satriani's signature amp. It's 120 watts with PV speakers. It sounds really clear and nice. I can hear every single note that I play. It's really my favorite amp. And I also have a Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. I do not like that amp. I know it's pretty metal and awesome. I just don't like the way it sounds. Yeah, pretty much. Nothing bad about it. It's just not my my favorite.
Yeah, you have to like what you like. If you don't like it, it's no good for you, right?
That's exactly.
Okay, so what I use for my microphone setup is the Shure SM58 wireless. I love that microphone. It's practical, it's reliable, it provides excellent sound, frequency's good. I have nothing to say in complaints. It's magical. It's my
Yeah. Now
about
my drums.
Excellent.
So let's funny.
But Chelsea, getting back to the microphone, Chelsea, you ever have a problem with your wireless microphone where you're doing a show and out of nowhere the sound guy at the show can't get your mic to work? You ever have a problem like that? Because I've seen that happen.
One problem once. The guy, his cables weren't working, and I told him that, and he didn't believe me. So I ended up performing the show.
It was one of those bars.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I ended up just stealing Artak's microphone partway through. And we ended up singing out of the same microphone. It was improvising at its finest. But however, at the end of the show, we got asked to do an encore by the crowd.
Awesome.
And I got it working at the last moment. And it was just this magical, I'm on top of the world moment where I'm like, aha, my my wand is working again. It was great.
Your wand?
My wand, my magical wand, man.
Yeah, later on that day, Chelsea told me that she almost puked on the stage because the marker that I was using, it stunk. And it was something hanging
There was
off
something
of
in it. There was something in it.
I don't like communal microphones. That's why I have my own nice setup.
Yeah, I was like, I looked at
understand,
Chelsea,
yeah.
she looked like she's sick on the stage. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, that's why it's so important at these little gigs that you might play for a sound man to know what he's doing and for them to have the connections right that you can go wireless. Because I've been to shows where you have a great singer, but you can't hear him because the microphone's not working because he has his own microphone and it's fucked up. The importance of a sound man, let me tell you, you know that better than anybody, right? Without a good sound man, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Always be friends with a sound guy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. Okay, let's hear about those amazing drums.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna keep it short. My biggest influence on drums is George Callias from Nile, and he really got me into blasting. So when I was hearing his playthroughs, I would always hear what cymbals he was using, and now I'm just like the big geek on Sabians, and I'm specifically more of the AAX kind of cymbals. I love Sabian AAXs, and to me, those are, in my opinion, the best sounding cymbals I've ever used. And I like the Paragon China, an XS20 hi-hat. It's not that, crazy, good, but I have a Mapex drum kit. It's not the full kit because I don't have enough room, so I'm using half the kit, funny enough. As in this album, actually, The Coming of Age, I just used half of my drum set. But for me, I pretty much use Sabian AAX cymbals.
Very nice. Now, we were talking about what is next for your band, and that is that you are writing for the next offering. That being said, do you have a working title for the next offering, and when do you foresee this being out there?
Oh, it's gonna be a long process.
Yeah, because we want to add more instruments. We want to add. We're trying to get more influences, more music. I'm a music nerd, so every day I always see related artists. I'm a YouTuber, so I always check out new music. And for me specifically, I would try to hear what drummers do, and then I would try to be like, oh, okay, so I've never heard something like this before. So if I played it on my drums, what variation can I put instead? And Art Talk has been doing a lot for composing, and we're just right now we don't have any idea what the name of it is or when it's going to be done. We're just at that point where we're just brainstorming what we want in our album.
Understood. And as before I mentioned, or I touched upon it, when that day comes into fruition that you have this music out there, definitely keep in touch with me and let me know about this so that we can play it, of course, and spread the word on it. But I would love to have all three of you back here, or if it's all four of you or all five of you, whatever we can do for you. We'd love to have you come back on the Mental Meltdown to spread the word on your next release, whenever that
Sounds
happens.
good.
Good, thank you so
Of
much.
course, thank you very much, Dave.
Oh yeah, well, that's what we do, and I like to have repeat guests that we can keep on top of the band like yours and watch you grow and become more well known and just keep following your career. So you could be a steady guest on the Mental Meltdown for each offering that you have out there, as long as you are not shy like you are today. I really am very sad that you don't like talking. Just joking. That was a joke.
I was like,
That was a joke. I was saying give you a listen. No, I really am enjoying talking with you. So I know that the future interviews will be just as great. I have faith in that. But I wanted to put it out there that you are always going to be welcome back on the Mental Meltdown. As long as I'm doing this and as long as there's a Mental Messiah Radio, you'll always have a home to talk about your music here. Not a problem.
Much appreciated, bro. I appreciate it.
thank you, Dave. We really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Dave. It was nice talking to you.
Oh, well, nice talking with you too. We're not done yet though.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Art Talk. You can't just end a conversation
I
because
was
you
just
feel
running
like
away,
it.
honestly. I
Okay,
had to use the
like
bathroom.
No.
he thanked so many times, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, we're done talking.
No,
No,
we're
man.
almost done though. But we covered a lot of stuff, a lot of great material here. We have a really great interview here. But I want to know what you do besides the band. Does the band take your entire time? Is it your full-time jobs, or do you actually have to have, like every metalhead out there that has a real metal band out there, they need a job to support it. What do you do when you're not doing the band? Basically, is what I want to know.
Well, on my answer is I also am playing drums with another band, and I am also a student in college, and I'm majoring in biological science, and
Nice.
basically, yeah, I love it a lot. I love
He
science.
can't pass his exams. I'm just kidding.
That's bullshit. That's such bullshit. Don't
Get
listen.
all Fs.
Don't listen to our talk because he's the one who's gotten more F's than me, so I'm okay with
More
that.
F's than me. There is some F's.
There is something that is that that kind of goes with it, but I do well, and I do a lot of hobbies. So for me, I try to keep myself very busy, but when it comes to material and writing new material, I do that every day. So
Very nice. Did you want to mention that other band you're in as well?
I am now filling in for a band called Anisoptera, and they are about to actually get the recording process, I think, on the March. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm also playing for Kinnefret, and we're writing new material. So for me now, I'm just brainstorming on new material.
Very nice. Thanks for that info. And the others of the band, what do you do when you're not doing the band?
What I need, I'm a manager at a sushi restaurant. At the same time, I'm taking directing classes, and I also at the same time direct small projects like small documentaries and little commercials or reviews on stuff. Right now, I got assigned to a really cool project. It's a full-length movie. I'm writing soundtrack for them, and I'm also doing their visual effects.
Wow.
So it's a first real deal that I got assigned to. I can't say what it is.
It's
That
classified.
Is, it's confidential, but it's a very, very, very awesome start.
Wow,
Good
that's
pay and all
interesting. It sounds like an interesting, fun time for you. Congratulations.
It'll take a lot of time. Like, I don't have time for myself.
Time flies
I
when
mean-
you have fun.
Get time. I have a girlfriend. She takes care of it. So I don't jerk off.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Our talk.
Moving
I'm
on.
just gonna wait before. But just be real. Our talk. I'm so sorry for you.
I'm
and
sorry for
everything
myself.
that you're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
That's
No,
funny.
but Chelsea.
All right.
And
so
Chelsea's
moving
a
on.
wife. And what else besides that do you do?
She's a housewife.
I'm a
That's all she
housewife.
does.
That's all I do.
Yeah, I'm a housewife. All I do is clean.
Being a housewife and a mommy to 2 doggies, the 2 fur children. I work in a microchip semiconductor laboratory in Fremont, California.
She's a nerd.
I'm a nerd. Yeah, I do engineering scheduling, amongst other things. And yeah, my line of work is a little boring to some, so I will leave it at that. I work in a laboratory. I'm a housewife, and I am a mommy to dogs.
For a second
and
time.
I'm big families. Yep.
Big families.
Big families, Kinnefret, working on individual music stuff. That's my life.
Sounds like fun, really. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans around the world that are tuning in at this time? Metal Messiah Radio, we are worldwide, and we get to get your music out there that everyone around the world could hear this music. So is there anything that you'd like to tell them?
Yes.
Keep listening to our music and make memories with it. When you grow up, you remember us.
When you grow
Always.
up, why
Grow
are
up.
the babies are listening to us?
All right, that was pretty
That's
fucking
terrible.
weird. That was fucking
Erase,
weird.
erase.
I mean, this kind of music
No.
only teenagers listen to. I'm just kidding.
No,
No.
shut up.
All right, our
Get
talk. You ain't saying
I'm just
shit.
gonna go
All right,
on
you're
mute.
done. Like,
Oh, my God.
get some coffee, fucking chill out. Actually, no, get some NyQuil. Chill the fuck
Yeah,
out.
go to sleep. It's okay.
Go to sleep.
We'll deal with this. No, we want to say thank you for all your support. Without you guys, we would not have much of a purpose in doing this. So we feel very thankful to have people from around the world listen to our music and share it and love it.
And also check out our music at iTunes and Bandcamp, and like us on Facebook.
Spotify.
Yeah, check us out on Spotify. We're in it too. You
Just
know,
totally check us out.
just
Anywhere you can.
totally
Look at
check us out.
Hang our picture in your house.
Wow, that's pretty
Oh.
freaky.
Make a shrine.
Hey, if you do that, send it to us on Facebook.
I would love
and
to see
we'll-
my shrine.
I love to have my own shrine. Well, I don't want to have my own shrine. No, that's wrong. I want other people to have a shrine of me.
Yeah, you
See,
should. You
there you go.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, may the force be with me. Okay.
Well, I want to thank you all for a great interview. I had a lot of fun talking with you and getting to learn more about your band. And I wish you the best in all the years to come. May you get more music out there, get more support, get the band, the lineup that you want, get the contract that you want. Don't settle for anything less. And keep doing what you do in Kinnefret. And we'll be here on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio doing what we do. And may you have a great 2017. And please keep in touch. When you have any news out there, whether it's a show coming up or a new video or the process of the music being recorded, share this music, share the news with us so that we could help spread the word and keep the listeners out there informed of what you are doing out there. That's what we're here to do.
Of course. Well, we will keep you informed of any news.
Thank you so much.
We do appreciate that. How about at this time we go crank up some more metal off of Coming of Age, and how about we crank it up loud?
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.